Hey, it's Eric again, back with another Portland food focus from my car. I'm in the mood for some delicious and unique sandwiches today. So let's go to Lardo in Southeast Portland and get some. Let's eat. So today we are in Southeast Portland to try Lardo. Famous for their sandwiches here around Portland. There's two locations, one on Southeast Hawthorne and 12th in the Lads Edition neighborhood, and then one, I think, in the Pearl. There's also one in Las Vegas, I guess. It's kind of neat. I'm parked in the Sunnyside neighborhood right now because the Lads Edition seemed a little busy. Sunnyside's a little more chilled out. Slightly less active this time of day. Fewer needed parking spots that I would be occupying. So I drove a few blocks into Sunnyside. I saw that Lardo does a Juicy Lucy cheeseburger, which I'd say is the primary motivator for today's visit. But then since I'm here, I also saw that they do a fried mortadella sandwich, which I love mortadella and bologna, really any kind of deli meat like that. So we're gonna try that. Got some fries as well. So let's just get into it. Okay. Also got a peach soda that I was briefly worried was not a twist top. But I had to figure out some tool to use. So for those of you who don't know, the Juicy Lucy cheeseburger is famous particularly in Minnesota. And yes, I'm from Wisconsin, which may surprise some of you is a different place than Minnesota. Still a fun thing to get. My sister lived in Minneapolis for a while. She had her favorite Juicy Lucy spot. Lardo does it just a little bit differently. It's not your classic Juicy Lucy cheeseburger. I believe pepper jack cheese is what's inside of it. Oh yeah, forgot to explain. Juicy Lucy, it's a cheeseburger that's stuffed with cheese on the inside. Usually American or cheddar. But today we're going pepper jack, I think. I haven't had a Juicy Lucy in many, many years. So when I saw Lardo's Instagram post showing that they had a Juicy Lucy, I had to bump Lardo up to the top or near the top of my places to try for these videos. Smells really good right off the bat. Let's see if I can get it out of this box without making a mess. Bun's really soft. This is gonna be a mess, I already know it. Big giant burger here. We've got the burger patty, which again is stuffed with cheese. Bacon, shredded lettuce, which you know I like. Got pickles on the top here. Some sort of barbecue ranch sauce, I believe is what I saw on the menu. And some onions on the bottom. The key with the Juicy Lucy is not to burn the crap out of your mouth with the first bite when all of the molten cheese comes oozing out. So let's see if I can avoid that situation while still getting a decent bite. Here we go. Well, I haven't even gotten to the cheese part yet, and this burger is really good on its own. The barbecue ranch on top provides a nice, sweet seasoning. The bacon's really crispy. The pickles are good. Good onions too. They provided a nice amount of onions on this burger. All right, let's see if I can get to some of this cheese that's on the inside. Starting to see it a little bit. Let's see if I can, yeah, there it is. You can see kind of oozing out here. That's looking good. I was kind of expecting a molten cheese bomb, and that's really not what this is. It'd be easy enough to kind of just highlight the melted cheese in a Juicy Lucy, but all of the components of this burger blend very well together. I feel like the cheese is kind of more on the top side here. So let's see if I can get a nice cheesy bite. I drip some on my steering wheel. Yeah, that was a really nice cheesy bite. Now you can really see the cheese kind of flowing out there. Looks good. I'm actually parked on Southeast 37th and Washington. If you know, you know. I used to live in this neighborhood just a few blocks away when we first moved to Portland. The new apartment building down on Cesar Chavez, which is 39th. So just 2 blocks east of us here. It was a great place to live when we first moved to Portland. I mean, Sunnyside, there's a ton to do. I discovered some amazing bars and restaurants. I mean, if you live in this neighborhood, you can walk to hundreds of places probably. Definitely at least in the low triple digits. And we wanted to stay in this neighborhood, but we also wanted to buy a house. And in order to do that in this neighborhood, you have to have $650,000 and be willing to settle for a 100-plus-year-old house that needs repairs. And we fall into neither of those categories. I like peach-flavored juices and sodas. Okay, so back to talking about this Juicy Lucy. Really good combination of ingredients. The burger patty was thick, obviously, and it needed to be to hold that cheese. But it wasn't too thick. Like, it wasn't a big filet mignon thickness worth of burger just so they could jam a bunch of cheese in there. Still pretty easy to eat. A little on the messy side, but that's all right. There's a lot going on that burger. Bacon was really crispy, but still had those, more soft, fatty bits. The sweetness from the pickles played very well off of the barbecue ranch. I don't typically like barbecue sauce on burgers, but because it was a barbecue ranch, it had a little bit more flavor complexity than just kind of a sweetness being added to the sandwich. Again, not a cheese bomb occurring in the middle of the burger patty. Honestly, if they can fit a little bit more cheese in there, and this is probably just the Wisconsin boy in me coming out, I think that would be nice. Now, don't get me wrong, they did not skimp on the amount of cheese, but I think they might have been able to fit just a little bit more in there, although that would have made it even messier. So I guess it's about balancing the presence of the cheese with the desire to not have, the cheese kind of spray out the back when you take a bite of the burger. Overall, really well made, and I enjoyed it a lot. Let's try these fries. Big thing of fries. They have a couple different kinds of fries at Lardo. I just got the regular Lardo fries. It looks like these have like some Parmesan and some sage or some sort of herbs in here. Gussy it up a little bit. Those are nice. Yeah, they taste fresh made, crispy, very well seasoned, not too salty. Gosh, I guess I figured with all these herbs in here that kind of that herbaceous flavor profile would come through a little bit more strongly. I'm not really getting that unless I actually have a piece of rosemary that I'm eating with one of these fries. Not a complaint, just a little surprised. These would be very good with the Juicy Lucy cheeseburger, but in today's case, I already ate the whole thing, so have to eat it separate. Juicy Lucy is one of those sandwiches that I don't really feel comfortable putting away halfway through because when I get home, it's going to be cold and really soggy, so I figured just eat the whole thing right now. That fries are pretty good. Be great with some beers, that's for sure. Gosh, I got all kinds of stuff on me. Somebody's going in the wash today. Okay, so before we head out, let's get this mortadella sandwich. I love deli sandwiches of all stripes. Used to go to Eastside Deli on Hawthorne. Also used to go to Eastside Deli a little closer in Southeast when we had pinball tournaments to play. Maybe one day. A lot of sandwich and deli spots on my list here. Thought about going to DeMarco's Sandwiches today, but it's not open on Tuesdays. Soon enough. Ooh, I'm getting full off that burger. Oh, gosh. But the smell of this mortadella sandwich immediately creates more room in my stomach. Wow, this smells amazing. Break out half of the sandwich here. Hell yeah. What do we got? We got a generous portion of mortadella. We got some cheese on there. We got hot peppers. We got lettuce. We got mayonnaise. I think that's it. Let's give this a bite. Oh. I try to not curse on these videos, just because I don't know. I feel like it's a bad look. But I have to hold back my natural profane tendencies when eating this sandwich. One of these days, and I'm not sure when I've compiled enough Portland food-focused videos, maybe like 50 or something, I'm going to put together a list of the top 5 or 10 things that I've had at any restaurant that I've reviewed. And I already know that this mortadella sandwich is going to be on that list. This is one of the best sandwiches I've eaten in 2020. The mortadella sandwich gives you that deli meat bologna type flavor, which I absolutely love. I think it's Swiss cheese that they have on here, and that's kind of melted within the pile of mortadella. The hot peppers are not too hot, but they definitely give it a nice little spiciness. And they've absolutely slathered this thing in mayo and mustard, which is the only way that I like a fried bologna or mortadella sandwich like this. This is amazing. It's happened a lot of times before in these videos, and I absolutely love when it does. I plan to go to a restaurant for one thing, in this case, the Juicy Lucy, and then end up getting one other thing just to add more to this video. And then the other thing ends up being the real highlight of the experience. I would be very hard pressed to name a sandwich off the top of my head that is far and away better than this fried mortadella sandwich that I'm having right now. I talked about everything inside of it, and it's wrapped up in this delicious bread. It's crusty on the outside, super soft in the middle. Yeah, whomever's making the sandwiches at Lardo really, really knows what the hell they're doing. I gotta put the rest away. My brain wants to eat all the rest of that sandwich right now. But then I would have consumed an entire Juicy Lucy and an entire fried mortadella sandwich in about 25 minutes. And that just doesn't seem wise. Well, it's December 28th, just a few days before the end of this crazy year. And yeah, we say, oh, this year was crazy after every year, but this year was especially messed up. And I don't expect everything to magically change when 2021 rolls around. But nevertheless, as the calendar turns, it does provide us an opportunity to look forward, of course. I'm not here right now to prognosticate about the future. All I'm here to say is that just a few days before the end of the year, I can confidently say that the fried mortadella sandwich that I just ate is my favorite thing that I've eaten in the year 2020. Just by happenstance did I decide to go to Lardo today. I decided to run a different errand and then figured, you know what, I've come this far, might as well grab some food and do another video. Inspired, as I mentioned, by the Juicy Lucy. And that was a really good burger too, don't get me wrong. All the flavors melded together really well. It wasn't an explosive cheese bomb, for better or for worse. But it's definitely a burger that I would get again and that I recommend you get for sure. But if you go to Lardo and you even kind of like bologna or deli meat, that kind of sandwich, you must get the fried mortadella sandwich. Just incredible. Again, and I'm thinking about it hard here. All the videos that I did this year and all the food that I ate in the first half of the year before I was doing videos. Yeah, the fried mortadella sandwich from Lardo, that's my favorite thing I've had this year. Lardo has a number of other sandwich options on their menu, and the amazing quality of their food that I got today is really going to motivate me to go back there soon and get 2 other sandwiches. Of course, I'll try to intersperse some other restaurants in the middle there, but I will be coming back to Lardo because the Juicy Lucy that I got today, and especially that fried mortadella sandwich, just over the top. Super, super good. If you're down in Southeast Portland craving a sandwich or a delicious burger stuffed with cheese, head on over to Lardo and you will be satisfied. All right, back at home after eating some wonderful food from Lardo. As I mentioned earlier, the Juicy Lucy was my primary motivator for checking Lardo out today. And I'm so glad I did because that mortadella sandwich is a culinary highlight of the year for me, for sure. Get yourself over to Lardo as soon as you can. Try their amazing food and you will not regret it. That's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to see more of my content, you know exactly what to do. Take care. Happy New Year.